I want to talk about a bit of the work we did at Cachix, we've developed this little Rust library and specification for secrets. So we've noticed that like dealing with secrets is always hard in applications, and that is mostly because there's like kind of three concepts that are usually intertwined, and that is like, what is a thing we're building need? What is the secret that we need? How do we kind of retrieve that secret? What are the requirements about the secret? Like, is it required? Is it optional? And where is it stored? What is the provider of the secret? Usually, like, the solutions try to kind of like capture the whole thing and try to solve all of these things at the same time. And this solution kind of tries to integrate all the different providers into one generic API. Just to give you an example, there is like a maybe make it a bit bigger. No, that does not work. All right. Just to give you an example, you can define like a few secrets in a secret.spec.toml. And put it in the root of your repo. And the idea is this kind of declares, okay, this is the kind of secrets I'm going to consume. And then if you look a bit down, there is a way to kind of say, okay, now we have different profiles. So this is the how part. So let's say in development, maybe some secrets are required. Maybe in production, they're not, and vice versa. And where are something we call providers. So typically under a development environment, a machine is going to be something like a password manager, open source, closed source, whatever. You can pick which one you want to use. But it's going to be very different than what the application is going to do in production, let's say, or a CI. So we currently don't support that many, but they are pretty easy to add. Mostly we wanted to add support for local development, so that secrets don't lay around, but also that everyone can choose the password manager as they're developing, that they're already using for their own things. And then this is the part that is, I think, that gives the most of the benefits, is like then you can like kind of migrate from one provider to another, right? So let's say that you have your secrets in .env files and you want to import it into password manager, then this kind of gives you a nice API to migrate. But why we've built this in the first place is because we wanted to kind of like separate the description of the secrets that application is using, but then provide a Rust API where you can say, okay, I want to load all these secrets and keep it separate from my configuration file for the application. Why? Because secrets usually have a very different requirements at runtime. Let's say you want to rotate a secret, then you have to rotate the whole config file, or like watch the config file, restart the application and things like that. Of course, there's like a lot of providers out there, like Vault, that is probably the most famous one, that do this, but you have to go all in on them, while this provides like a nice stepping stone where you can still slowly transition in between providers even, and not be that locked into one solution, while having the freedom that each developer decides for their own. Yeah, that's about it. Hope you give it a try and let us know.